Have you ever felt like, no matter how hard you try to do everything right, life still feels like a maze? Maybe today you're facing a difficult decision, financial pressure, a health challenge, a relationship that seems beyond repair. Or maybe you're simply exhausted from trying to control everything while still feeling afraid of what lies ahead. What if the very thing that's stealing your peace is the reason God wants to speak to you today? There is a verse in the Bible that has strengthened millions of people through seasons of uncertainty, and it may be exactly the message you need to hear today. We live in a culture that constantly tells us to trust only our logic, our experience, and our own understanding. We make plans for everything. We research everything. We try to anticipate every outcome. Yet with more information than ever before, anxiety continues to rise. That's because there are moments when our own wisdom simply can't see the whole picture. For times like these, God gave us a powerful truth in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs is filled with God-inspired wisdom for everyday life, guidance for making decisions, building healthy relationships, honoring God through our work and family life, and above all, learning to trust Him. So listen carefully to these words. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. What does this proverb really mean? At first glance it seems simple, but it presents one of the greatest challenges of the Christian life. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. That means placing the direction of your life completely in God's hands, not only when everything is going well, but especially when you don't understand what's happening. Trust isn't the same as having certainty. It's choosing to keep moving forward, even when you can't yet see where the road ends. Do not lean on your own understanding. In other words, don't make your limited perspective the foundation of your life. We can only see what's in front of us. God sees the beginning, the middle, and the end. Many times, what feels like a setback today becomes the very path God uses to lead us to something far greater. In all your ways, acknowledge Him. That means putting God at the center of every decision, not just the big ones, but the small ones too. Before you act, before you respond, before you give up, before you accept an opportunity, before you make any decision, ask, Lord, what is your will? And He will make your path straight. This verse doesn't promise a life without hardship. It promises direction, even through life's twists and turns, even when obstacles stand in the way, even when everything seems out of control. God continues to lead those who place their trust in Him. Maybe today you're trying to carry a burden that has already robbed you of countless nights of sleep. You run the numbers, you rethink your plans, you consider every possible outcome. But peace never comes. Maybe God is saying this to you today. My child, place that burden in my hands. You don't have to understand everything in order to trust. A pilot can't see the entire flight path at once, but the journey continues because the pilot trusts the instruments. In the same way, we can't always see everything God is doing, but we can trust the one who has never lost control of history. Maybe God hasn't changed your circumstances yet, but He is already working behind the scenes. A delay is not abandonment. Silence is not absence. Waiting is not defeat. God is still at work, even when you can't see it. He turns tears into growth, wounds into powerful testimonies, closed doors into new beginnings. What feels like confusion today may actually be the way God is protecting you from something you cannot yet see. If you keep trusting Him, one day you'll look back and realize that God was guiding every step along the way. Because God never abandons His children. He restores, He strengthens, He leads, and He continues to write stories filled with hope. If you've been searching for an answer today, perhaps it can be summed up in one word: trust. Not because you understand everything, but because God does. Not because the road is easy, but because the one leading you is always faithful. When we place our lives in the Lord's hands, we stop relying only on our own strength and begin to be guided by His wisdom. And there is no greater security than that. May this verse stay with you throughout the week. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. Whenever fear begins to rise, remember this: God is already ahead of you, preparing the way. Leave today with the confidence that your story isn't over. As long as you continue to trust in the Lord, there will always be hope, guidance, and another step forward.